First step we're going to do is we're going to take off our OEM trash knives. Keep the hardware that you take out of these trash knives, the M12 bolts, keep them. You're going to need them to reinstall the trash knives. Okay. Now that you have your residue knives off, you're going to go ahead and take the hardware off of your OEM roll. These rolls on the 40 to 90 series can vary quite a bit, so you may see something different than what you see in this video here. It's pretty much going to be the same idea, though. We just want to get the roll off. So we're going to start by taking these bolts loose. Get them backed out of your way. Once you have your bolts loosed, you can go ahead on this 40 series. It's got a single roll pin. Go ahead and drive that out. I'm going to use an air hammer. You can just beat it out with a roll pin and a hammer, whatever tools you have available. Once you get those roll pins out, you can use your 360 puller and pull the OEM rolls off. Using the 360 puller, I've already broke these loose. We can back out our T-handle and then use an 1.5 inch socket on an impact and run these out the rest of the way. With our trash knives off and our OEM rolls off, we're now ready to inspect the shafts, clean them up, check if anything's bent, out of shape, wobbled. Now would be a good time to check that out. Then we're going to rotate the pin holes in these 40-90 row units so they're facing upward diagonally from right to left. I want to put a little anti-seize on these shafts also when we go to reinstall our chain roll. Remember, right and left from the combine seat, we line up our timing marks. Make sure that our cutting flutes stay in time. Go ahead and slide our rolls all the way on. Okay, with our rolls installed and our holes lined up, remember, if this is a 40 series, there will only be one pin hole, so you use the frontmost forward hole in the 360 chain roll. But we're ready to go ahead and take our 1/2 inch roll pin, and we're going to get that started. You can use an air hammer or just a hammer and beat those in. Okay, once you have the 1/2 inch roll pins beat in, you can go ahead and beat your 5/16 roll pins in on the inside of those 1/2 inch roll pins. Get it started, then you can use a air hammer or just a regular hammer to beat them in. Okay, once you have the one side in, you may have to rotate them just a little bit, making sure these stay lined up on the other side. And then you're going to repeat the same process on this side. Okay, once you have your roll pins all beat into place, they're just slightly inset on both sides. I like to spin these rolls manually just to make sure nothing hits or clinks or you have clearance everywhere. Then we're ready to go ahead and put in the cap bolts. Okay, with our M10 cap bolts snug, we're going to go ahead and torque them down to 70 foot-pounds. We're going to start with our first bolt and we're going to torque it to 70. We're going to go to our second bolt. We're going to torque it to 70. We're going to go back to our first bolt, torque it back to 70, and then the second bolt and torque it to 70 again. And we're going to repeat this for the other side. Okay, with our roll pins and our cap bolts in and torqued down to specs, we're ready to put our trash knives on. We suggest using 360 trash knives for the chain roll. They're made specifically for them. We highly suggest using those. We're going to install them the same way we still install the 600 new and 600 old. Just get the bolt started, leave it loose. Get all your bolts in. You're going to want to snug these up just a little bit. You may have to rotate these rolls by hand. You want to leave a 1/4 inch gap between the cutting flute and the edge of the trash knife. Once you have your 1/4 inch, snug them up, and then you can go ahead and tighten them all the way down. And we're going to repeat this on the other side. With your trash knives reinstalled, this completes the installation for your 360 chain roll on your 40 or 90 series corn head.